So we need to talk about Usher. You may have heard the news that he just won the Lifetime Achievement Award at the BET Awards, and he gave a speech. And I guess during this speech, they cut him off because it was assumed that he was talking about one of his mentors, Puff Daddy, aka Diddy, aka Love, aka Sean Combs. Now, I already know that I'm going to be talking about sensitive topics and some issues in this video, so I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube demonetizes this video or if it gets suppressed in the algorithm. But if you do see this video, like, subscribe, share, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just warning you guys because, trigger warning. There's some things we got to talk about. So the thing that I think that's really interesting about Usher's speech is the trajectory of his success over the last couple of years and how that kind of ties into everything that's going on. Because, and I'll get right to the brass tacks on this. I really do think that Usher was groomed by the industry. I mean, it's pretty much proven. If you look at this man's career, he started in the industry at like 12, 13 years old under the guidance of L.A. Reid, Jermaine Dupri. Puff Daddy played a big role in his career at the time. And he has some very, very interesting, very intriguing stories about his time with Puff Daddy that involve like kind of some sexual stuff. I'm pretty sure there's a viral video about him talking about how when he was young, they would like get girls for him to like, do stuff with. And this is at like 15, 16 years old. You know what I'm saying? And so it's interesting because the reason why I talk about the last couple years is the fact that Usher has been basically everywhere, nonstop, in our face for the last 2 or 3 years. From his Vegas residency, from the Super Bowl, he dropped the album. Now they're giving him the Lifetime Achievement Award at BET Awards. And it's one of those things where it's like interesting because I feel like while Usher has been consistent, he also has never really been in the conversation like that until recently. It's like when they announced that Usher was doing the Super Bowl, it was like, that makes sense. Usher got some hits. He got some hits. But it's like, I guess if you look at all the R&B stars that are out there, like Usher, I guess, is near the top just based off of longevity and numbers. But like I said, he's not really in the conversation like that. So it's almost feel like the powers that be were almost giving Usher what he needed to get out of his years and years of servitude. And that's what you're kind of seeing in that speech at the BET Awards where he's talking about Diddy, because this dude is a loyalist. You know what I'm saying? He's loyal to a fault, to where L.A. Reid, Jermaine Dupri, all these people have literally been instrumental in his life. And where it gets kind of messed up is that he's not the only one. There's going to be plenty other artists who step up and defend Diddy. And, say stuff like, oh, man, he learned his lesson. And the thing about it that bothers me, and this is where the conversation gets kind of dark here, is that Puff Daddy isn't sorry for the actions that he did with Cassie in that video that went viral. He's sorry because he got caught. And this is something that's extremely important that you all need to understand, is that when you see him doing these apology videos and you see people defending him, etc., so forth, I'm pretty sure that his behavior did not change too much between the time that video was made or created to now. Why? Because there was no catalyst to do so. This man never faced any type of consequences for his actions or punishment for his crimes. So why would he change? It's only until recently where you had Cassie basically start this whole wave of accusations and things towards Puff Daddy, because now he's like, oh, well, I'm like this. And it's like, nah, bro, like, low key, on the lowest of keys, if you were really remorseful of that, you probably would have came out and said that these things existed, especially with the hotel situation. And that's I could make a whole other video about that video, But the thing about that is that someone held on to that footage for a particular amount of time. That footage was literally in a vault somewhere in a hotel or in someone's house, and someone's like, no, drop the Diddy video. And the video is extremely damning. It's not one of those videos where you say like, oh, it's a mistake, or oh no, he was drunk, or like, no, the video is extremely damning. It's one of those things where it's like you don't really look at that man the same after watching something like that. So when you flash forward to Usher winning this Lifetime Achievement Award, which I'm saying that it's deserved, but it's a little suspicious. And then during this speech, he tries to, synthesize and show love to this man who has been villainized for literally assaulting a woman with video evidence. Not only that, the wave of sexual accusations that have come out after Cassie's accusations, and even Cassie's deposition, where it talked about the things that Diddy was doing, including blowing up Kid Cudi's car. What the fuck? Like, this man is clearly a monster. And the thing about this, as me saying this, if you know me personally, like, I actually grew up idolizing Puff Daddy. I wanted to be on Bad Boy Records. I was all about Puff Daddy. I loved the Shiny Shoe era. That was my jam. And over the years, you start to hear these stories. You start to see these artists leave, like Mace and Loon, and all these different artists leave, and you start to hear these stories and these accusations, and you don't want to necessarily believe it. And I'm not caught in the zeitgeist of the record industry with these people who are propping me up and putting me in positions to win. Like, I never signed a Bad Boy. Like, Diddy is not my mentor, so I get to see it from an outside view. And over the years, it's like, man, no, this dude's scum. But if you're up in it, like, let's say that I did actually sign to Bad Boy Records at 13, 14 years old, right? It's very possible I could have either ended up dead or, in debt or a superstar like Usher. Because that's basically like the three paths that happen when you sign down that path. Now, Usher was never signed to Bad Boy, but like I said, as he said himself, Diddy played a very crucial role in his upbringing, as we'll call it that. But when you look at it from Usher's perspective, he will look at the Cassie video and be like, "Oh, that's just Diddy being Diddy," right, or something like that. I feel like he would really justify the horrific actions of this man, which he tried to do. And like I said, he's not going to be the last person to do this, because Diddy has actually helped and has a lot of loyalists in his circle. And I'm not here to necessarily condemn Diddy, but at the same time, I kind of am, because it's like, bro, like, you literally have this footage around the internet of you beating the hell out of this woman. You try to make this apology video, but then all these accusations start rolling in. Even before the video came out, I think he's been hit with like 4 or 5, 6. There was one that just came out last week with him and Kanye doing some stuff. And Kanye West is a whole different story. Like, we have to make a whole different video about the Kanye West situation. But our accusation just came out last week with Kanye and Diddy. And so it's one of those things where it's like, man, like, it was a very, very bold move for Usher to try to defend Diddy right now. Regardless of the relationship, regardless of everything, like, that's not the platform to bring it on. Like, they're here to honor you. But it's a sign of what we can expect from this situation in terms of, like, these artists who were propped up by the industry who feel in debt to it, because they do. And like I said, like, I love Usher. I like Usher's music, but his meteoric rise over the last couple of years has been a little suspicious. The last album he put out wasn't even that great. Did we even get any singles or like massive hit singles from that last album that he dropped last year? No. But this man has had a Vegas residency. He's played the Super Bowl. This dude's been everywhere. To the point where it's like, Anyways. But those are my thoughts about that situation. A couple people were asking me about it. But yeah, y'all take care. Peace.